Welcome to Primetime Crime Podcast. I am your host, Kylie, and in this podcast, we are going to deep dive into some lesser known unsolved true crime cases, from missing persons to unsolved homicides. This is the place where we are going to unpack it all, research it all, talk about it all, and try to bring justice to these families after all of these years. We are going to take it one story at a time, one case at a time, and hopefully justice will be ours.
Welcome to the Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy podcast. I'm Deklan, the son.
And I'm Jane, the mom. This is the podcast where we talk about brutal crimes, bizarre occurrences, and get you drunk with cocktails themed around one of our stories. To lighten things up, we'd like to end our time with a chaser. Please keep in mind some of our stories might be upsetting to young or sensitive ears.
We love hearing from our listeners, so feel free to contact us by email or social media. You can find our contact info in the show notes for this episode. If you'd like to support us through Patreon, you can find us there at Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy Podcast, or use the link in our show notes.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us once again for another episode of Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy. How are you today, Mom?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I can't complain. What story do you have for us today?
I have a story about an underground city.
Ooh, we love those. Is it,
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna guess. You'll tell us.
Okay.
But
Yes.
I am going to be talking about Chris Benoit today.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And to go with it, I have the Luchador drink because he was a professional wrestler. So to make this, you need 45 milliliters of pineapple rum, juice from one fresh lime, habanero simple syrup, Aperol, and optional garnish with a pineapple leaf or lime wedge. Directions to make this: you need to prep a Collins glass for the cocktail mixture by filling it with crushed ice. Add crushed ice to the cocktail shaker. Add juice from the lime, the habanero simple syrup, and pineapple rum to the cocktail shaker. Vigorously shake all the ingredients in the cocktail shaker over crushed ice for 10 seconds. Double strain into an ice-filled Collins glass and top with additional crushed ice and a float of Aperol on top of the cocktail, which makes it look super cool.
It does make it look fancy.
Floats down the ice. It looks super, super fancy. But
yeah,
let's give it a try.
Okay, here we go. I'm a little worried about it.
I snuck a sip earlier, and it's you should be.
The heat is really slow.
It hits like a weird part of the palate too. Like,
yeah,
it's like normally habanero hits you in the back of the throat, but this is like in the middle. It's weird.
Oh, strange. It actually doesn't taste too bad though.
No, as far as rum cocktails go, it's pretty tasty, but that heat, if you're not expecting it, it'll sneak up on you, I think.
Yeah, I think the more you sip it, the more hot it's going to get, because I just took a second and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Hot now, thanks.
I think that it's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's funky.
It is. I don't typically think of habanero and pineapple together.
Yeah, I mean, if you're thinking like salsa, maybe like a pineapple salsa.
Yeah, that's true. I do like a good sweet and savory salsa.
Okay, let's talk about Chris Benoit.
Yeah, not my favorite guy.
Yeah. And I'm gonna I know there's like huge wrestling fans out there. And I don't know anything about WWE, so sorry if I get some stuff inaccurate with what I say or I miss some of his accolades, but I tried to look up like a list. it would take me 25 minutes just to talk about all his wrestling debuts and shit like that. I'm like,
Okay.
he was a wrestler. But
Yes.
Benoit was born in Montreal, Quebec, the son of Michael and Margaret Benoit. He grew up in Edmonton, Alberta, from where he was billed through the bulk of his career. He had a sister who lived near Edmonton, and during his childhood and early adolescence, Benoit idolized Tom Dynamite Kid Billington and Bret Hart, who were wrestlers. At 12 years old, he attended a local wrestling event in which the two performers stood out above everyone else. Benoit trained to become a professional wrestler in the Hart family dungeon, receiving education from family patriarch Stu Hart, which I think a lot of these like wrestlers, they come from like a wrestling family, like The Rock.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
true.
His whole family, like his uncle, his dad, his cousin, like they're all wrestlers. So I think there's like families that just
Right.
do wrestling, basically.
Yeah.
So in the ring, Benoit emulated both Billington and Bret Hart, cultivating a high-risk style and physical appearance more reminiscent of the former later, like the former wrestling style. They go through like is now WWE, but I think it was WCW, and they're like, so I think there's different organizations. I don't know if they're the same one or not, but I'm pretty sure they are.
Oh.
Like the
I think there's
WWE,
multiple. Because there used to be
Yeah.
WWE and WWF and
WCW or whatever.
yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
But he eventually came up with his own finishing move called the sharpshooter.
Ooh, fancy.
So Chris Benoit began his professional wrestling career in 1985, training in Stu Hart's dungeon and debuting in Stampede Wrestling in Calgary, Alberta. He quickly developed a reputation for an intense technical style and won several Stampede championships before moving to New Japan Pro Wrestling, where he wrestled as the Pegasus Kid and later the Wild Pegasus in
Okay.
Japan.
The
He
names
won.
crack me up.
I know.
So funny.
Unless it's just like a dude's name, it sounds so funny to me.
Yeah. Agreed.
So he won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, the Super J Cup in 1994, and the Best of Super Juniors tournament twice.
Wow.
Don't ask me about that.
That's a lot.
Benoit later became major star in ECW and WCW, winning the ECW World Tag Team Championship, multiple WCW television, United States, and tag team titles, and the WCW World Heavyweight Champion in 2000. He joined WWF/WWE in 2000 as part of the Radicals with a Z, and eventually became one of the company's top performers, winning the Intercontinental Championship 4 times, multiple tag team championships, and the United States Championship 3 times, and as well as the Royal Rumble in 2004. I'm trying hard not to like make fun of this because wrestling is loved by lots of people.
It is.
But
I don't get it.
I don't understand it at all.
No.
He also won a WWE Triple Crown Championship, and Pro Wrestling Illustrated named him its Wrestler of the Year in 2004, ranked him number 1 in the 2004 PWI 500. I don't know. Benoit spoke both English and French fluently. He married twice and had 2 children, David and Megan, with his first wife, Martina. By 1997, that marriage had broken down, and Benoit was living with Nancy Sullivan, the wife of the WCW booker and frequent opponent Kevin Sullivan. On February 25th, 2000, Chris and Nancy's son Daniel was born. On November 23rd, 2000, Chris and Nancy married. It was Nancy's 3rd marriage, and in 2003, Nancy filed for divorce from Benoit, citing the marriage as irrevocably broken. and alleging cruel treatment.
Oh.
She claimed that he would break and throw furniture around. She later dropped the suit as well as the restraining order she had filed, though. Benoit was good friends with fellow pro wrestler Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko. The trio traveled from promotion to promotion together, putting on matches, eventually being dubbed the Three Amigos by commentators. According to Benoit, the crippler crossface was borrowed from Malenko and eventually caught on as Benoit's finishing hold. I love the names of their moves.
It's so funny.
Stone Cold Stunner and Crippler Crossface.
Cracks me up.
So after Guerrero died in November 2005, Benoit acquired a diary which he wrote grief-stricken personal entries to a deceased Guerrero as a coping mechanism. Benoit's lost tooth, his top right lateral incisor, was commonly misattributed to his training or an accident earlier in his wrestling career. Actually resulted from an accident involving his pet Rottweiler. One day while playing with the dog, the animal head butted Benoit's chin and his tooth popped out.
That's hilarious.
Yes, so that's some background on Benoit if you weren't familiar. Still not familiar with him. I didn't bother to look at any of his wrestling stuff, but he was a very famous wrestler in the early 2000s.
Right.
On June 25th, 2007, police entered Benoit's home in Fayetteville, Georgia, when WWE, Benoit's employer, requested a welfare check after Benoit missed weekend events without notice. The officers discovered the bodies of Benoit, his wife Nancy, and their 7-year-old son Daniel at around 2:30 p.m. Upon investigating, no additional suspects were sought by authorities. It was determined that Benoit had committed the murders. Over a 3-day period, Benoit killed his wife and son before committing suicide. His wife was bound before the killing. Benoit's son was drugged with Xanax and likely unconscious before Benoit strangled him. Benoit then committed suicide by hanging himself on the lat pull-down machine that he had in his house.
Oof.
Which, that's brutal.
Rough. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. WWE canceled the scheduled 3-hour-long live Raw show on June 25th and replaced the broadcast version with a 3-hour tribute to Benoit's life and career, featuring his past matches, segments from the Hard Knocks, and comments from wrestlers and announcers, which it's a bit interesting that you would memorialize a killer.
Yes.
I don't know what the
was there blowback from that after the fact?
I didn't see that, but
really?
He definitely hit the crippler crossface on his wife.
Oh.
I shouldn't have said that. I couldn't help myself. Okay. Once the details of Benoit's actions became apparent, WWE made the decision to remove nearly all mentions of Chris Benoit from their website, future broadcasts, and all publications.
Oh.
And toxicology reports released on July 17, 2007 revealed that at the time of their death, Nancy had 3 different drugs in her system: Xanax, hydrocodone, and hydromorphone, all of which were found at therapeutic rather than toxic levels.
That's good.
Not like he poisoned her, but he still killed her.
Yes, he did.
Daniel was found to have Xanax in his system, which led the chief medical examiner to believe that he was sedated before he was murdered. Benoit was found to have Xanax, hydrocodone, and an elevated level of testosterone caused by a synthetic form of the hormone in his system. The chief medical examiner, well, if you see the guy, you could tell he's juiced up.
He's juicing. Yeah.
Most of them are, I'm sure, but
probably. I don't know.
Chief medical, you can tell.
It's just a guess. Just a guess.
The chief medical examiner attributed the testosterone level to Benoit possibly being treated for deficiency caused by previous steroid use or testicular insufficiency.
Okay.
There was no indication that anything in Benoit's body contributed to his violent behavior that led to the murder-suicide, including that there was no roid rage involved. Prior to the murder-suicide, Benoit had illegally been given medications not in compliance with WWE's Talent Wellness Program in 2006, including, I'm going to fuck up a lot of these, I think, Nanodrolone, which was an anabolic steroid, and anastrozole, breast cancer medication, which is used by bodybuilders for its powerful anti-estrogenic effects. Jesus
Okay.
Christ. So, during the investigation into steroid abuse, it was revealed that other wrestlers had also been given steroids. After the double murder-suicide, neuroscientist and retired professional wrestler Christopher Nowinski contacted Michael Benoit, Chris's father, suggesting that years of trauma to his son's brain may have led to his actions. Tests were conducted on Benoit's brain by Julian Bales, the head of neurosurgery at West Virginia University, and results showed that Benoit's brain was so severely damaged it resembled the brain of an 85-year-old Alzheimer's patient.
Whoa.
He was reported to have an advanced form of dementia similar to the brains of 4 retired NFL players who had multiple concussions, sank into depression, and harmed themselves or others. So this was
CTE.
one of yes.
Yeah.
Bales and his colleagues concluded that the repeated concussions can lead to dementia, which can contribute to severe behavioral problems. Benoit's father suggests that brain damage may have been the leading cause to his son's actions.
Oh.
Which is, I think it's like Aaron Hernandez is another one, but they're like, there's a couple of, those are like the famous CTE guys, like,
Yeah.
their sport or their job involved hitting their head constantly, and no one really knew about CTE until these things happened. Like,
Right.
it's now being discussed more openly and stuff like that, but it's a weird thing because you can't tell unless someone dies. Like, there's no
Right.
way
You
to.
can't look at it, which I don't
But
understand
you
how
can
they
just
can't look
guess.
at it.
I don't know. I don't know
Like,
much
with
about
all
it other
the
than, like,
advanced
what it is.
imaging that we have these days, they can't look and go, oh yeah, there's some dead parts of the brain here.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I'm not a neuroscientist, so I don't know.
either. But hopefully they can tell soon. And I mean, even if they could tell, they can't do anything to help you really. Like,
Maybe they could find a way. I don't know.
it's caused by like parts of your brain swelling though, like after repeated abuse, right? Like,
Yeah.
encephalopathy, it's because it's chronic
Yeah.
traumatic encephalopathy, and encephalopathy means swelling or some shit, right?
Inflammation.
Inflammation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't like it.
It's scary. I
I'm
don't.
glad
I wish
you
we knew
didn't
about
go
that
in.
before I started playing football, though. I mean, I wish we knew that thing existed.
I knew that there were issues, and I tried to keep you out of football. And you and your dad were like, nah, it'll be fine. That's what helmets are for.
Yeah.
Nobody listens to me.
Also had a 10-year-old like hand-me-down helmet from the locker room. Like, I didn't have top of the line equipment. I might as well have had like the single bar across my face for a face mask.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's hear about your story, Mom.
Okay. My underground city. Cities across the world have been known to have deep secrets and mysteries beneath them, literally. Some are not so secret. For example, subway tunnels in major cities. We've even talked about the Shanghai tunnels in Portland, Oregon, which at the time they were being used may have been a secret to some, but well known by others. My story today is about another underground secret that was likely not always a secret. I'm going to be telling you about Derinkuyu in the Cappadocia region of Turkey.
Okay.
Its true origins are a massive mystery, but let's go to when it was discovered in more modern times. And I should say rediscovered, because obviously people knew about it, but they kind of forgot for a couple decades.
Okay.
In 1963, a homeowner was renovating his home. He found a large crack in the wall of his basement and took a sledgehammer to the wall. He was shocked to discover a passageway on the other side, a passage he didn't know existed. But it wasn't just a room he found, it was actually a network of rooms that stretched downward for hundreds of feet. Although his home renovation is what led him, he found an entrance to Derinkuyu, an underground city that was carved into the regional stone. Not just any stone. This is called volcanic tuff, which is compacted volcanic ash. It is porous and can easily be carved out to form the rooms that made up Derinkuyu. Even though it is porous and easily workable, it is strong, and additional supports were not necessary for the underground city. Derinkuyu descends about 280 feet and is set up on at least 18 levels.
Did you see anywhere when you were researching this about his chickens disappearing there?
Yes.
Okay.
That was part of like a rumor or a lore that some sources were quoted as being part of it and others were not.
Okay, because
I
like this sounds familiar and I thought it was the chicken room.
It is the chicken
so it's all
farmer.
rumors. Okay.
But I mean, several of the sources mentioned chickens, that he had chickens and they kept disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's no mention of
down there.
No, the chickens weren't down there.
Okay.
So who knows where the chickens were going? I don't know. First of all, it didn't make any sense to me that he had chickens disappearing. He found this thing in his basement.
Maybe those were his. Maybe he treats them like we treat dogs.
They lived in his house. I don't know why you'd want chickens in your house. Granted,
it's called.
There were other entrances. So maybe if the chickens were really part of the story, they found another entrance and just poof, gone. But there weren't any chickens in this thing that were found. So who knows where the damn chickens went. But yes, that's the rumor, that he had some chickens that kept disappearing. Oh, and then he found an entrance in his basement. Yeah, very strange. The complex contains bedrooms, kitchens, oil and wine presses, chapels, schoolrooms, stables, storage rooms, and cellars. There is a central shaft and staircases that take you to the different levels. Each level contains a doorway that can be closed using a large round stone, which allows that area to be secured. There are over 50 ventilation shafts that bring in fresh air and additional service wells to obtain water. Essentially, Derinkuyu was not designed for a single overnight stay by just a small family. It's believed that around 20,000 people plus their livestock could have lived in the complex for many weeks. But what was it designed for and when? It's believed that the complex was designed for protection, probably from other communities intent on invading and taking over. This region has been full of turmoil for thousands of years with different cultures invading and attempting to rule the land as their own. But the answer to the question of when is the biggest mystery surrounding the complex. finding the true date of when the complex began may never be known. Some experts believe the complex was first started by the Hittite people in 1200 BCE to protect them from the invasion by the Phrygians, while other experts believe the Phrygians were the first to start the excavation process several hundred years later, between 700 and 800 BCE. There's a lot of educational debate on who and when exactly, and nobody knows. So there's no clear consensus about who first started excavating Derinkuyu or exactly when the work began. It's believed that the complex went through a couple of expansion periods, including one where Derinkuyu was connected to another smaller underground city through a long series of tunnels. During the peaceful times, the inhabitants would return to the surface and continue with daily lives, but could easily descend to the underground complex if trouble returned. One historian noted that the underground cities of Cappadocia were still being used in the early 1900s, but 20 years later, those subterranean complexes were abandoned due to religious relocations conducted in Turkey. This is the historical concept behind the underground cities, but of course, there are more bizarre ideas. That whole region has tons of these little cities.
Yeah, what's that other one that they dug up? Like, they just, like, it was under a hill. It was in Turkey, like, kind of.
Are you talking Göbekli Tepe?
Yeah.
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 I don't know if those are connected at all.
I don't think they are, but they're in the same region. Like, they
could be.
Keep finding a bunch of these buried city type things.
For a long time, Derinkuyu was the biggest one that they had found, but I was reading a source that more recently, like in the last couple of years, they were doing some excavation in an area close by, and they found another city that they think is actually bigger than Derinkuyu, but they haven't done a thorough excavation of it at this point. So
I'd just start digging anywhere. That's
right.
Likely just to hit it like a buried city.
Right. Another one.
Yeah.
One. So some of the more bizarre ideas, and if you want to call them conspiracy theories, although I don't really think that there's a conspiracy behind it, but one writer suggested the cities were created to protect from air attacks, specifically alien invasion.
Bum, bum, bum.
Of course. Other researchers have suggested that the complexes may have been built for withstanding severe weather. That area is prone to extreme weather differences in summer and winter. So they were using it as like a bunker to get away from the severe heat in the summer and then the freezing cold in the winter.
Or if it's to protect from air attacks, it could be meteors that killed the dinosaurs.
True. Could be that as well. Another proposed theory involves an underground ark hypothesis. Basically, think of Noah's Ark, but an underground version of it.
Okay.
Although the arguments for the underground ark vary from biblical flooding to other doomsday catastrophes, the thought is that you could hunker down underneath the ground and then come up when the coast was clear.
If there's a giant flood, I'd prefer to be in a boat than underground. I think you'd get flooded if you were underground.
Well, there's over 50 air shafts. So if there's biblical severity flooding up top, you'd think that enough water would flow down those air shafts to drown you out of the, whatever. Regardless of when it was first started, Derinkuyu and other nearby underground complexes are certainly mysterious, and new cities are discovered yearly in the region.
That's crazy to me. The fact that
It's
you could just
wild.
be living on top of an entire city.
Yeah. And they didn't even know it was there.
Yeah, I'd get LiDAR out there and all types of any kind of science
Hell
equipment that
yeah.
can look in the earth like X-ray vision. I'd get all of it
Yeah.
out there.
That Italian scientist who's been using whatever technology he was using, that they found the
Coils under the
yes, the
pyramids.
pillars and the coils underneath the
Yeah.
I mean, you'd think that they would throw that thing out there and start looking, but I didn't see anything
Yeah.
that said they had been.
Hmm.
Maybe they were like, we already know there's a shit underground there. Whatever. We don't care.
Yeah.
We got to look for stuff that we don't know is there.
True.
Maybe. I don't know. It's interesting though. And it's kind of
Yes.
cool to like look at the pictures of it because it's just caves under there. But the thought of like, that's where you're living.
I'm imagining like Petra in my head, or whatever that one that's like carved into the hills.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm picturing in my head, but it's probably not as elaborate as that.
No, because I think the one you're talking about, they got real intricate in the design of things. This,
Yeah.
from what I saw, was just like, it just looked like a natural cave, you know, like we've been caving and, you know, the soft domes and stuff like that.
I would immediately think gigantic ants. This is an ant farm
Ew.
for ants that are
Ew.
10 feet tall.
Ew. Okay. I never even considered that, but that just grossed me out. Oh,
Yeah.
we're both anti-ant. So that's,
Yes.
oh, you just gave me the heebie-jeebies. Thanks for that.
Do you have a chaser for us?
I do have a chaser. My chaser is an Instagram account called Beach Dog SSD. And it's this guy who goes around to beaches and takes pictures and videos of random dogs as they're playing and like the surf and catching balls and frisbees and all sorts of stuff. And he talks to the owners, and then he asks them for what the dog's theme song would be. And so the owners come up with whatever the song is. And then he shoots some video and does like a little music video with the theme song and the dogs playing, and it's freaking adorable. And it's all
cute.
different kinds of dogs.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's really cute. What's your chaser today?
My chaser is an app called Delta Game Emulator. It's so if you have like if the piracy department of whatever government office handles that stuff is listening, you can take games that you already own and download emulated versions of that for like older games. Like they have Nintendo DS, Game Boy, NES, SNES, like all the old like consoles that people played on back in the day, like
Yes.
yeah, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Game Boy, DS, all that stuff. You can download digital versions of the games that you already own. I like to emphasize that you already own the games. It's piracy if you don't already own the games.
Right.
So you make sure you already own the games, and then you can download them and play them on your phone.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and it like I've been playing like the Game Boy games on my phone, and it like fits. It's like the exact same size as a Game Boy, basically. So it's pretty cool to be able to like play the old games you played as a kid or something.
That's awesome. Yeah, Love to play a couple of those old games.
Yeah, again, only if you own them.
Okay.
We don't condone piracy. You wouldn't
No
steal a car, would
piracy.
you?
No piracy. Piracy is bad.
Yes. All right. Well, I think that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thanks for listening,
does.
everybody.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Love you, Mom.
Love you too, bud.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, friends. Thank you for supporting our podcast. Please share our show with your brutal and bizarre friends. Give us a Boozy follow on your favorite podcast platform. If you're feeling extra generous, we'd appreciate a 5-star rating or review as well. But maybe do that sober so all the letters are in the right place.
You can find all our contact information in the show notes. We love hearing from you, and if you're interested in helping us stock the bar for our future Boozy episodes, you can find our Patreon link in the show notes as well.